Hello and welcome back to Hop to the Top. Today, it's a crucial game against PSG. We beat them 2-1 in the first leg last episode. We are playing away to them today though, so we need to be at our very best if we want to try and get past them and go into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Following that game, we have got Luzern in the Swiss Super League as well. We are currently still top of the table and we are still undefeated as things stand because in between episodes, we played 3 games and we won all of them. The first one actually was a 5-0 win against Sion in the Swiss Cup quarterfinal. Not really too fussed about that one really because we won the Swiss Cup so many times now, but Felipe Cruz, Xavi Simons, Ross McQuaid, Pedro and Randy Schneider got themselves on the score sheet there. A few of those players also got themselves on the score sheet in a 3-1 thumping of Young Boys. Schneider with a penalty, Pedro and then Godardo scored late on in that game as well. And then Bottle scored in the first minute of the game against Toon to ensure we won 1-0 in that game as well. It all means that we've actually already qualified for the next season's Champions League, which is fantastic stuff, as we are still 11 points clear of Basel in second place, who have qualified for the Europa Conference League as it stands right now. So it's all pretty good going, I've got to say. So whilst the battle for the title perhaps isn't that exciting because we've pretty much won it already, I would say, at this stage, the actual battle that is quite exciting is the battle between 5th place and 9th place. Only 9 points separate 5th to 9th. Obviously, 5th place, you get a Europa Conference League place. 9th place, you have a relegation playoff. So it's still pretty tight, and any one of these teams could be in any one of those positions. That's quite an interesting one to look out for. We have also had our youth intake come through in between episodes. Unfortunately, nothing massively brilliant coming through this time. Tim Juice is a goalkeeper with 3.5 stars of potential. That's the best one we've got, though, which isn't really fantastic, I've got to say. We've got like a guy who can play a bit of a utility player around midfield into the centre on the right-hand side. He's got 3 stars of potential ability, but again, nothing. I mean, he's 16 years old and got a great moustache already. Why can't I grow any facial hair? So unfortunately, I don't think we're really going to get many good regens come through that we're actually going to be able to properly use now before the series finishes, which is a bit of a shame. But if you want to get yourself ready for the next course series that are coming out very soon, there should be... I'm not sure if I'm going to put it to a vote or not, but there should definitely be a post on the TomFM channel community page on YouTube. So if you go to that, you can see what my plans are for the next series. Obviously, we've got Inter Miami coming up after this one for a season in a slightly different style to what we're normally doing. But after that, for the rest of FM20, I was thinking I need something else to do. And you guys left loads of suggestions. You all left a very even vote, about 33% each on 3 different ideas that I had. Save ideas, at least, general ideas, not specific teams, but just like general idea for a series and sort of thing. And you guys seem to split that vote very evenly, which was weird. But I think I've decided on 2 saves, and I feel like I prefer one to the other one. But one's probably more engaging, maybe, but the other one is what I prefer, that I want to do. It's a bit complicated, but there'll be a post on the community page that will talk about it either way. Anyway, there's not really much else to update you on, so we're going to jump straight into the game against PSG. And yes, we're going for the attacking formation, which I know is perhaps a bad idea, but I just think we have to go for it because it works so well in the first leg, all right? And if it goes wrong, then on my head be it. But I just think it's the way we should go. It's how we're used to playing, and I think if we have that confidence, we can do well. So in goal, we've got Kalas with a backline of Akash at the moment because Guardado is suspended for today's game, which is a bit annoying. But the backline of Haroldinho, Bunt, Sterigu and Cruz is looking pretty solid. Midfield, we've got Pedro, who's quickly becoming one of the first names on the team sheet. He doesn't really get many goals or assists, but his average ratings are cracking. He's got an average rating of a 7.55 overall, and his last 5 games are 7.7, which is pretty good going. Randy Schneider only a little bit worse than that with a 7.68 in his last 5 games. He's starting alongside Pedro with an attacking midfield trio of Alvarado, Nunez and Capitanio. Billy Schmidt's on the bench coming back from an injury, and Alex Smith is a bit tired so isn't playing in today's game. And Bottles, well, of course, he can't be replaced. He is leading the line for us right now, but is wanted, as you can see, by a whole host of clubs. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus, AC Milan, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Monaco, and then Wolverhampton Wanderers as well, which is a bit of an odd one there. But a lot of clubs want him, so expect a lot of bids for him again this summer and expect a lot of bids to be rejected again. So kickoff is upon us here today in Paris. Of course, it's going to be a massive challenge today because PSG, all they have to do is win 1-0 because they've got that one away goal. If they win 1-0, they're through. We really have to be scoring a couple of away goals. Even just the one away goal would be fantastic for us, I've got to say, to be fair. But it's going to be a real uphill challenge as the first highlight of the game comes through. Christian Eriksen taking the corner, cleared by Pedro, but only as far as Dembele. Nunez Gets the ball away. I thought gave away a penalty, but didn't give away a penalty. Gets it up towards Bottles, and we are counter-attacking, although Arthur gets it into the touchline, out for a throw. I'm not quite sure what the highlight was for, if I'm honest with you, because nothing really happened at all there. But 25 minutes into the game, it's still 0-0, very even on the stats. If we can just keep things going nicely, keep ticking over, we should be okay. Another corner coming in, headed by Marquinhos over the bar this time. The thing is, I know that we shouldn't be on attacking, and I know that we shouldn't have such an attacking formation, but I genuinely feel if we change up, invite the pressure on by playing more defensively, then they will start to score goals. I think the way we set up ourselves to play attacking football puts them on the back foot a bit more, and they're a bit more reluctant to get forward and score goals themselves. And I think that's something that I want to try and keep going, as they've nearly scored a goal there, to be fair, but they haven't scored, which is the main thing. And again, we've got to half-time. It's 0-0. We are still winning this tie. With only 45 minutes to go today, we're winning the tie. I mean, we will come off attacking. Let's go to positive instead, although Ericsson, can we get on a counter-attack here as Kalas makes a good save? Quickly get out here, boys. Quick counter-attack. This is what we want to see. Come on, up to number 15. Who's number 15? Is that Alvarado? Alvarado. Why can't we get up to him? Felipe Cruz into Nunes, though. Right, keep possession, lads. And let's just go steadily up the pitch, all right? Haldinho Bunce, what was that? I don't know. I don't want to know. I want to know why you're not defending against Dembele there either. Kalas makes a good save. Bunce is doing whatever he wants to do himself. Not really sure what he was doing there. But 55 minutes into the game, up to 60 minutes in the game now. We've got 30 minutes to go to hold on. All right, hold on. And this is the thing. If I change it now, I genuinely think we'll concede some goals, because I think we'll just invite that bit much more pressure onto us. Schneider on the ball, puts a cross into Pedro on the edge of the area. He puts it over the bar. That's the first highlight I think we've had in our favour. I don't want to make substitutes. If we make substitutes, I think it's all going to go to pot as well. But we've got 10 minutes to hold on now against PSG. This could be absolutely massive for us. Pedro's picked up a knock. He looks incredibly tired. We're not taking him off the pitch, though. Keep doing what you're doing, Pedro, on a 7.6 rating. That's why he's always the first name on the team sheet, as we've got a 0-0 draw with PSG. But that is enough for us to go through into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. You love to see it. What an absolute result that one is, I've got to say. Just been given a achievement called top form. What does achievement mean? Top form. Your team hasn't lost in 30 matches. Fair play. Fair play. I mean, friendlies obviously don't count because we lost a friendly very recently, but in terms of competitive fixtures, we haven't lost since the Schalke game, which is fantastic. Not entirely sure how Schalke have got on, as we're going to sign the recommended players from the youth intake. We've won the first knockout round by beating PSG, and we've been given £8 million for it as well, which is fantastic stuff. Bunce is being fined and given a automatic ban for yellow cards in the Champions League, so he'll miss out on the first leg of the quarterfinal. Whoever we play in the quarterfinal, of course, but this is exciting. This is huge for us. 9 players called up for international duty as well. Sterigut, Schneider and Klaas called up to the Swiss national squad. Felipe Cruz to Portugal. Pedro called up to Brazil. And Nunes called up to Argentina. And Alexis Guardado called up to Mexico, with a couple of Portuguese under-21 players called up as well for various things. So that's pretty good going. This seems to say we've got 17 players on international duty, though. So obviously some of the players have been called up at some other times. So we've got quite a few international players at various different levels playing for us right now, which is pretty good going. Basel have just made an offer for Thad Davis, apparently, up to £6 million, apparently, which is an interesting one. But you're not having him for £6 million, so unlucky, lads. Champions League quarter-final and semi-final draws are being made here today. So we're going to view these draws then. Let's see who potentially could be playing against. It looks like Schalke got knocked out, so we had a nicer time finishing second in our group and taking on PSG. The remainder of the sides, though, look very, very good indeed. Draw next team. We're up first. Who would we possibly want out of all these clubs? If anything, how are Atletico Madrid doing? They are obviously, I think we want maybe a Spanish side, because I don't have the Spanish leagues loaded up. We've got the Swiss, Austrian, German, Italian, French and English league loaded up. I didn't load up Spain for whatever reason, so it might be to our advantage to have a Spanish side, but they're probably still better than us. Let's draw the next team then. Who's it going to be? Bayern Munich. Okay. Have we played Bayern Munich before? I'm not entirely sure, if I'm honest with you. So that's the quarter-final draw. I don't think we have past meetings with them. We'll see it in a second, I'm sure. Champions League semi-final draw. So if we manage to get past Bayern Munich, potentially we'll be playing Atletico or Barcelona in the semi-final. But I don't think we'll be getting that far, but you never know. You never know. Okay, so when did we? Have we ever? I don't think we have played Bayern Munich before competitively. Maybe in a friendly or two. Oh, we have played in the Champions League a good 4 years ago now. Drew 0-0 and lost 3-2. So maybe we do have a chance. Of course, those two games will come next episode. They are very conveniently placed next to each other for some reason. So that's quite good for us. You obviously have a nice break there, which is very good. So fingers crossed that'll play into our advantage as well. Bayern Munich, on the other hand, have a game in between our games. So that could play really into our favour. Before we get there, though, of course, we are playing Luzern first in the Swiss Super League as we look to try and extend our 30-game winning streak, or not losing streak at least. We've had a few draws in there, haven't we? But we want to try and maintain our unbeaten record in the league so far this season. A couple of changes have to be made. Pedro is obviously picked up a knock at the end of that last game, so he's got to come off the pitch for... Let's bring on Simmons for him, see what he can do out there. Capitano has also picked up an injury, so we'll swap him and Billy Schmitz over. Alex Smith can come on for Nunes as well to have a little run out there because he needs a run out. Sterigu can swap with Ross McQuaid, but those two can swap over because I don't think Ross McQuaid is right-footed. He's not right-footed, so that's okay. Well, he is kind of, but he's better with his left foot, so he can play on the left-hand side. Schneider actually is looking quite tired as well, so we might bring on Soares for him, although... Juric is injured still, so that's okay. I want to get Juric back on the pitch soon, but he is currently injured. We can also bring back onto the pitch if I can find him. Where is it? Guardado. He can come back on the pitch for Akash as well. We'll give Thad Davis a run out into the Cruz at the back too. Other than that, I don't really want to make too many other changes, so we'll stick with that particular lineup. Now, as kickoff is upon us, I have just remembered I didn't show you how other teams have got on in European fixtures. I think we had four teams, including us, left, didn't we? I think we had... Did we have young boys left? Maybe Basel, or maybe... I can't remember who we had left, to be fair. But we'll have a look through in a moment's time. I think Luzern could have been one of them, if I remember rightly. But we'll double-check this as we go on. 30 minutes into this fixture, we had 11 shots, but no goals, which is a little bit frustrating, I've got to say. Potentially one coming now as Bottles puts a free kick into middle onto the head of Xavi Simmons, who puts it just wide of the mark. Just like the PSG game, this one is going by very, very quickly, but... we should have scored some goals from 15 shots to 1 shot. Not very pleased with the lack of goals in this first half, so we're going to go aggressive at half-time. Not too happy with your performance out there. Let's start the second half with a bit more oomph, lads. Let's get a goal nice and early in the second half to show that we are a decent side and we can win the league with the record points, obviously. Because I think if we draw any more games, we won't get the record amount of points, beating 96 that we set a few seasons ago. If we lose, I think we certainly won't get those records. But obviously we want to have an invincible season as Luzern come forward and don't get the ball into the middle, which is quite good. Xavi Simmons out towards Alex Smith, who can work his way up towards the halfway line. What's he going to do with it? Pass it out towards Billy Schmitz on a yellow card. Billy racing forward with it, getting towards that left-hand side out towards Guardado. Guardado back in towards Xavi Simmons, who can put a cross back in. No, he can't play it out to... Him and Guardado playing it around really nicely. Simmons on the edge of the area into Billy Schmitz, back of the net. That was a really good move, I've got to say, actually. A really good move. I thought Billy Schmitz could be just offside, but he wasn't. Fantastic stuff there. Watch it again on the replays. Just great little triangles being played here. Very nice triangles, and Simmons can just put it across to Billy Schmitz, heading it into an almost empty net because the keeper was so far out of position. 1-0. You love to see it. No, you're not seeing double. Billy Schmitz has literally just scored an almost identical goal as Simmons puts it into Alvaro. I'll explain what happened a second ago. Alvaro puts it across to Billy Schmitz. It's like identical. But in between highlights, I got a notification on my phone. I'm recording this on Tuesday night. Lincoln City are currently playing MK Dons. We've put out a really weird lineup, which I'm not very happy with. And 3 minutes into the game, we've already conceded to MK Dons. So I'm sort of sat here looking, this is rubbish. Oh, look, we've just scored a goal, Foot Manager. I'm back in what should be reality. Well, I wish it was reality, because Lincoln City at the moment are just not very good. So I'm not really pleased with the team and how we're playing. But I'm very pleased with how Grasshoppers are playing. And Simmons racing forward with the ball on his feet. On his feet? That doesn't really make sense, does it? At his feet, I should probably say. But he has given it away. Luzern coming forward. Can they grab a goal? They actually can. 15th of the goal of the season for this guy. If he's got 15 goals, might be worth scouting out. But £11 million for a 2-star current ability player, maybe not. So Luzern have pulled one back, which isn't brilliant, I've got to say. We're going to bring Tim Wright. We're not going to bring Tim Wright on the pitch. I thought he was on the bench. He's not on the bench for some reason, which is a bit weird. Bottles can play on the left, so we'll bring Bottles on the left-hand side, and Jordan Platt can go up front for Alvarado instead. But with 10 minutes to go, I think we should have done enough to win today's game, unless Luzerne decide they want to come forward and have another goal or something like that. They haven't done much all game, but they managed to score 1 goal from one of their shots. Where we've had 22 shots and only had 2 goals, which is a bit disappointing. As Alex Smith into Simmons out towards Bottles, playing out wide now. Can he get a cross in? No, he loses possession, but Haroldinho Bunce does collect it back for us. Plays it forward towards Thad Davis into Simmons. Thad Davis back on the ball, back to Simmons. Come on then, lads. Get this forward into the box. Billy Schmitz into Bottles, saved by the keeper. I think it was going wide anyway, but a nice little move there. Let's not concede now. Luzerne have been terrible all game. We've been very good all... Well, I say we've been very inefficient all game, I should say. Ineffective all game. And yet Luzerne have come close there. Less than 2 minutes to go in today's game. And Luzerne are looking to come forward again, which I'm not very pleased with. Lads, don't you dare concede another goal like this. I mean, it's a good job we scored 2. It's a good job we scored 2, isn't it, really? Because otherwise we'd be staring at our first defeat of the season here if we didn't score those 2 goals. And I don't think Luzerne deserve this, if I'm honest with you. They've been poor all game. I guess we've been poor because we've been very ineffective. We've drawn it 2-2. At least we didn't lose. That's the main thing. Our 5th draw of the season now. We've got 8 games left this season. That means there's 24 points available, which would get us actually to 98 points, wouldn't it? So actually, we potentially could still break the record, but we're not going to break 100 points, unfortunately. We just can't afford to draw any more games now. Definitely, I don't think. So 2 draws in today's episodes, but both of them aren't really detrimental because we did manage to qualify for the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which is coming up, of course, tomorrow, and we are still unbeaten in the league, which is still pretty good going, despite throwing away a 2-0 lead. That is unforgivable, really. So thank you ever so much for watching today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Join me tomorrow, of course, for the Bayern Munich games, which are going to be really exciting, and I'll see you next time. So have a wonderful evening. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll see you soon.